It's time for a brand new Walt Disney World challenge, and this time I have to face my fears. Twice. Hello, Ma'am Fam, and welcome to Disney's Hollywood Studios, where I have a brand new challenge for us today. Today, I'm going to attempt to see every single theater show. If it's got a theater, I'm going to try and seat there. Moving right along, from beloved classics like Beauty and the Beast live on stage to two brand new stage show and saying goodbye to an old friend, there are 10 theater shows here in the park today. This is actually quite a challenge because the timing of it all may throw me off if anything gets canceled. Well, let's just see what happens, and we're going to start with one of those brand new shows. First up, the all-new Little Mermaid, a musical adventure. This is the new live performance of The Little Mermaid, and it has taken the place of Voyage of the Little Mermaid, which some of you may remember as I do. Voyage of the Little Mermaid was a stage show that was here for decades, and it closed with COVID, never to be seen again. But this new show opened this week, and it's an enhanced version. I really haven't seen much of it because I've tried to avoid spoilers, but I do know that there's a giant Ursula. So, as of right now, the first week of shows of this new Little Mermaid show, they do not have Lightning Lane, but it is coming soon. They also do not have posted show times for this. It just happens every like 40-45 minutes. So basically you just get in line and you either see the next show or two shows away. Ursula, here I come. Okay. Here's the thing, a lot of people, they're playing Poor Unfortunate Souls, which is perfect for me to tell you the story. A lot of people want to know why I'm scared of Ursula. I don't know. She just terrified me as a kid. Everyone has that character that scares them as a kid. For my cousin, it was Maleficent. For my childhood best friend, it was Scar. For me, it was Ursula. I literally could not watch The Little Mermaid without my mom fast-forwarding the scenes with Ursula in it. Like, would scream and cry and cover my eyes and like, my mom tells the story of the first time we came to Disney World and we saw Spectro Magic, and I was on my dad's shoulders and I saw Ursula coming down in the parade, and I said, what is she doing here? Because I could not comprehend why she would be there, ruining my good time. And I made everyone in my family turn around as her float went by, because I've been this extra since I was a child. Anyway, I don't know, Ursula just always terrified me. I had so many nightmares about her as a kid. She's my childhood nemesis. So the fact that she's in two shows we're seeing today, I don't know what that's about. I have to say though, I respect her as a savvy businesswoman because like she does get a contract signed. Ariel signs it. Granted, Ariel's 16, which means in a human world she'd be a minor, which would make that contract null. But I don't know the Mer law. So, you know, she's a diabolical diva, but she's also my childhood, you know, sleep diva.
I'm not a child.
Don't you take that tone of voice with me, young lady. As long as you live under my ocean, you'll obey my rules.
Always greener in somebody else's lake. That's why it's hotter under the water. Yeah, we ain't back here. Now we be back here under the sea. Oh man!
You're here because you want to be with the humans. Find your prince, fall in love. Make a potion that will turn you into a human for 3 days before the sun sets on the 3rd day.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la, my oh my, look like a boy too shy. Gonna kiss the girl.
boy, nope. The Little Mermaid, A Musical Adventure, done. First show. Now, we are not doing great as far as timing goes because there's only standby right now for the show, and because it just happens every 40 to 45 minutes, there's no posted show times, you end up waiting a long time. I got into the next possible show I could have gotten into, and I still waited almost an hour before the show before I even started the show start. So, that's not great for our timing. But just something you should be aware of. They are adding Lightning Lane soon. TBD when. I think this will be a very good use of a Lightning Lane once that exists. Now, as far as the show itself goes, let's start with where it shines. Ariel had a wonderful voice. She was very, very talented. I really liked how they portrayed Ariel swimming throughout the show. The theater itself is beautiful. They've added some lovely thingamabobs around the stage, which I enjoyed. And I always love puppets. I also like that they added songs. Kiss the Girl and the Sister song was not in the Voyage of the Little Mermaid, and Kiss the Girl is my favorite Little Mermaid song, so that was my favorite number because I liked how they portrayed that one as well. Ursula, still a nightmare. She's a 12-foot nightmare. I hate it, but it's a very cool puppet. I can't deny that. Speaking of puppets, though, this is one of my cons of the show. There are definitely less puppets than there used to be. They relied a lot more heavily on screens and a mixed media technology where they would, like for Under the Sea, they used to have way more puppets, and now it's like a couple puppets and then projections and screen usage. And I don't mind screen usage sometimes. In certain parts it was actually really cool and effective, like when Ursula is saying here's what you have to give up and here's the potion, they had some of the animation like on the screen and it was really cool. But as far as like Under the Sea goes, I prefer puppets and more performers than just screen tech. Again, mix is fine, but I want more puppets throughout the show. I will say though, I did like how they did the end scene, the way that they portrayed that battle with Ursula, the way they portrayed the ship was very, very cool. That was puppeteer use as well. So for me, I just want more puppets. Also, they did new animation of things like King Triton. I preferred the old version where they used animation from the movie, which I understand that's dated. That movie came out in 1989, but like, we don't have to modernize everything, right? We don't need like CGI King Triton. I personally would rather see hand-drawn classic King Triton, but that's probably the nostalgia speaking from my point of view. I also wish they used the theater a little bit more, because in the original show they would project things on the sides as well, not just in the screen in front of you, and they didn't do that. But you know what? It's still a fun show. There is great music because the Little Mermaid music is so wonderful, thanks to Alan Menken and of course Howard Ashman. So if you've got someone in your party that loves Little Mermaid, it's worth seeing. I just think right now, to me, it wasn't worth the hour-long wait to see it. So I will look forward to it. It's also opening week, so it's more popular. I will look forward to when this is a Lightning Lane option. Now, I will be rating each of these shows on a scale from 1 to 10, kind of based on how much I like it, how much I recommend you see it. I'll try not to let my nostalgia brain speak too much, but for Little Mermaid, a new musical, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 newts playing the flute. All right, now we don't have to go too far for our next adventure because we are going to go check out Get Animated, which is happening here in Animation Courtyard as part of Cool Kids Summer, which is the summer promo Disney's doing right now, where they are really targeting families with young kids and having them have a cool kid summer. So there's like characters around right here. Look, people are dancing and playing, I think Simon Says with Donald Duck. There's a bunch of characters. I see Daisy, Chippendale, Clarabelle's coloring over this way, and they should be doing different things like this across all the parks. And as part of the fun here, where there normally is the Disney Junior dance and play, there is just a dance party called Get Animated. So we're gonna go in there and see what happens. And I'm shooting high because there's kids everywhere. But we got a DJ on the stage, we got Mickey's disco ball up top, and we got a bunch of characters in here just vibing. I can see Mickey in his Roadster Racers costume. I see Timon, I see Doc McStuffins, Vampirina, the nightmare that is Fancy Nancy, and Pluto. So I'm gonna go see if I can get a shot with some of these characters, and then, you know, I'll leave and let the parents and children continue to vibe. Okay, so it's actually super cute, and the kids in there were loving it. I talked to the character attendants, and basically it's the characters that are normally in the show, but they're just out having a dance party. So it's Mickey in his Roadster Racers costumes, Pluto sometimes pops in, Doc McStuffins, Fancy Nancy, Vampirina, and Timon. And like the DJ was playing some bump and hits. They were going to play some games. It was dance party. Kids were loving it. Characters were taking pictures and stuff, but it mostly is about dancing and having fun. And there weren't a ton of people in there. If I was a kid, I would have been living for that. So yeah, it's not like a show, but it's cute. And all the stuff they're doing out here is cute. I just watched a little show with Goofy, and other characters are out mingling out here. What do I rate? That's so hard to rate because it's obviously not like a show, like seeing a full production, but it's also really cute. I think if you've got kids and you're here this summer, that's worth stopping by if they like those characters. If your kid loves the Disney Junior characters, then it's like a 10 out of 10 Doc McStuffins sparkly sneakers. But if you don't have kids or you don't care about the Disney Junior characters or seeing the characters in general, then it's like a zero, Fancy Nancy's crowns. So, kind of this one's a little bit harder to rate because it's not a real show, but it's cute. Next up, we are headed down the way here to Walt Disney Presents, which is an exhibit about the man himself, Walt Disney, and the history of the Disney company and Walt's childhood. Because in the back of this exhibit, there is a movie. Sometimes they play like a preview for an upcoming Disney or Pixar or Marvel movie, but when that's not happening, they play a short film narrated by one Julie Andrews called Walt Disney, One Man's Dream. And it's all about Walt Disney. And I, one, don't know that everyone knows this is here. And two, think it's a nice, not only break from the heat, but also it's nice to, thank Walt and see Walt and learn about Walt Disney, who started all this, the ultimate dreamer he was. So let's go see when the show's starting. The movie only runs every so often. It's like continuous, but I don't know what time it starts. But if you haven't been in this exhibit, it really is one of my favorite ways to cool off. There's usually, as you can see, it's very busy today. There's no one in here. And you can see cool things like some original sketching of Mickey Mouse. You can learn about the multi-plane camera, which Walt and his team invented to make animation more dimensional. And we saw one of them, the real one, in the Walt Disney Studios when we went on our Adventures by Disney trip and got to go to the archives. You can check that video out if you're a Disney nerd like us. And then you move into this part where they talk about Disneyland and building the theme parks, and there's cool theme park memorabilia in here and things. My favorite's right up here. My favorite thing in here is this actual animatronic from Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, which debuted at the 64-65 World's Fair, and it was the first human audio animatronic the company ever built. They also somewhat regularly rotate out movie props from more recent movies, like here's stuff from the live-action Little Mermaid. You can actually meet Ariel here, too. And down here, they've got some stuff from Moana 2. These 3D statues are made by the artists so that they can help the animators animate them so they can see what the character looks like in 3 dimensions. What's up, all you Zetus Lapidus fans? They got costumes for the new Zombies movie that comes out this summer. So we'll have to make a journey back to DComs at that point. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's our podcast where we watched and reviewed every single Disney Channel original movie, and now we're on to nostalgic movies from our childhoods. So we've done like Jumanji and Hook and other movies that don't star Robin Williams. Check it out wherever you get podcasts, but also know they are not family friendly. Anyway, the show starts in less than 7 minutes. I can't record in there, but I am going to go see it, and then I'll report back. 10 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding. Although I, as a Disney nerd, love it, I don't know that that's a thing most people want to do. Like I said, it's a good way to get a break of air conditioning, but I actually recommend if you're only going to go in there for a little bit of time, you don't want to spend a ton of time in there, go in and walk through the exhibit and look at the different displays rather than seeing the movie. You can watch similar documentaries on Disney Plus. Go watch The Imagineering Story, or there's Walt Disney documentaries on YouTube and other places. So if you're only going to do this for a little bit, go check out the exhibit. So I'm going to give the movie, I'm going to give it 5 Mortimer Mouses, which is Mickey's original name, because I think for a certain audience that could be a must-do, but there's also a certain audience that's going to get bored in there. So, and there's obviously more exciting things to do when you're in Hollywood Studios. But if you're a nerd, at least walk through the exhibit. All right, well, it's a good thing I saw Little Mermaid earlier, because now it's a posted 60-minute wait. And so that means you're waiting 2 shows, I think, before you even get in. It's also hard to just have a posted wait time for a 18-minute show, because it's like if you happen to get in line and that previous show is at the end, well, then you wait shorter than if you happen to get in line and that previous show just started, and there's no way to know because they don't post the show times. As of now, I think they used to for Voyage of the Little Mermaid. So I'm guessing that's all going to change. We're just giving the wonderful cast members a little time to get used to the operation at this brand new production. But for now, I have just a few minutes before I have to get to my next show, which means I need coffee desperately. Got the goods. Yeah, I do like Joffrey's better, but I am running tight on time for this next show, and Joffrey's was too far. So, got Starbucks. And I'm headed down Sunset Boulevard to go see Beauty and the Beast live on stage. This show, along with Indiana Jones, strategically are two of the biggest problems because they have the least amount of shows throughout the day. So it's like if you miss it, well, you missed it. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this one out. Full disclosure, I do have a Lightning Lane for it. I bought Lightning Lane today, well, a couple days ago whenever I was allowed to buy it, because I had read they were gonna add Lightning Lane for The Little Mermaid, and I was hoping they would add it by today. They didn't, as you know. So anyway, we're gonna use it for the other shows, but you don't really need Lightning Lane at the other shows. Beauty and the Beast live on stage is about a 25-30 minute retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And fun fact, it debuted here at then MGM Studios the same day the movie premiered in theaters. So they had that much faith in that movie, which obviously they should have because it bangs. You definitely don't need a Lightning Lane for Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Typically, you can just walk in a few minutes prior to showtime, 10-15 minutes, and you'll be able to get a seat. Lightning Lane is just nice for the shows because you know you're gonna get a seat. It doesn't reserve you a special seat or anything, but it does guarantee that you will have a seat. But more than with any other Lightning Lane, make sure you're on time, because they can't let you come in late because the show starts at a specific time. So just keep that in mind if you're booking Lightning Lanes for shows. You need to be strictly adhere to that arrival window. But like I said, if you're using Lightning Lane at this park, you should definitely be using it on all of the big hit attractions that take it, and then doing things like these shows as filler in between, with the exception of if they add Little Mermaid. I would prioritize that one. And just as a pro tip for Beauty and the Beast live on stage, you can bring in food and beverage because it's an outdoor amphitheater. So this is a great one to grab an ice cream or a coffee or something like that and sit and enjoy that treat whilst being entertained by Belle and the enchanted objects and the Beast's mighty roar.
Stray like always, the same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same, since the morning that we came to this poor provincial town.
Good morning, Belle.
Good morning, Monsieur.
So I'm roughly a sight of a
Through a series of strange circumstances, she found herself held captive.
Life is so unnerving, for a servant was not serving in a home without a soul to wait upon. On those good old days when we were useful, suddenly those good old days are gone.
I am the master of this castle. You shouldn't have come to the West Wing.
And you should learn to control your temper.
I can't help it.
In the woods, in the darkness, in the shadows, it's a nightmare. What exciting ride. It's got big, got bang, greater darkness. Putting down, kill the beast. Kill him! If you're not with us, you're against us. We'll rid us of this beast. Who with me? I am. Let your touch as a horse through your courage to the sticking place. We're helping
Last time.
We're together now. I won't let you die.
It's better this way.
I'm gonna level with you guys. I thought for a while that I maybe was too harsh on Little Mermaid, giving it a 6. And then I saw that show and I thought, yeah, this is better. Maybe it's just me, but I want live performers. I don't want screens. The magic of live entertainment is why these shows are great. The performers, the costumes, the music, that is what's up. And that show has been around for over 30 years and it's still awesome. Everyone in the theater is into it. Who doesn't love the music of Beauty and the Beast? It's simple, it's storytelling. They tell the story really well by being like, and then a bunch of stuff happens and now Belle's in this castle. Like, it's quick, it's snappy as far as the plot goes, because you already know the plot. It's a wonderful show. I had wonderful performers in it, and it's great. It's nostalgic for me, but also like objectively sitting here, it holds up. And that's what I think a lot of us want when we see a stage show of our favorite Disney movie. We want to just hear the music and have a good performance. And you know, sometimes technology isn't always better. Sometimes just straightforward performance is still the way to go, at least in my opinion. So a couple things before I rate this that I want to point out. A few things I like to pay attention to when I'm watching Beauty and the Beast live on stage. One, the Sunday. I love her so much during Be Our Guest. One con, I will say, they used to wear different colored outfits. The dancers did during Be Our Guest, and I miss when they had different colored outfits. Two, I love the side drama on the mob song. There are a couple people that are not falling for Gaston's propaganda, and they're trying to convince other people off to the side, but then he bullies them. I watch it every time. It's drama. Three, I love the Beast's roar and the fight scene. It's just chef's kiss, all of it. I love that show. What am I gonna rate that? Knowing we have a big finale tonight, I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8 Beast. Roar, I'm the master of the castles. 8 of those. Because that show's wonderful. And it has been since it debuted. You can come find me in the comments if you think if you think Mermaid's better than this, but I don't know. All right, from an old favorite to another new show, we're headed back to go check out the new villain show, which is called Villains Unfairly Ever After. And there's one that starts in a little less than 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go scope out and see what the wait situation's been like, just because we saw what happened at Mermaid. It had long lines. It's a brand new show. So it may be a situation where I need to come back and get in line earlier. I don't know. Let's go scope it out together. There's no lightning lane on this one, and it's not predicted to have lightning lane, but it does have a bunch of shows. So I especially think the earlier and the later shows will have less people at them, but we're gonna scope it out. Villains Unfairly After replaced Lightning McQueen Racing Academy, which, you know, wasn't super popular, but did have a really cool Lightning McQueen animatronic. So I hope that goes somewhere. Ooh, Villains Unfairly Ever After merchandise. Hello, what do we got here? We got a t-shirt, ornament, magnet set, cup. And I'm gonna be very real with y'all. I don't have any idea what this is about because I've avoided spoilers. I know that there's villains, and that's it. And I believe there's like a audience participation situation that could change the end of the show. But that's all I know. I know that it looks pretty crowded, so I'm gonna ask these nice cast members if they think I'll get into the next show or if I should try again later. Because if I don't get into this one, there's not one for a while. So let's scope this out. All right, so the nice cast member said if I got in line now, I would see the 2 o'clock show, which is the next show in about 25 minutes. So here we go.
I have seen. Think again. Which is why I have summoned you. Oh, for the days when only one villain summoned me, a queen with a question. At Apples, they just get bad press, so they lie and they ask if they're victims of a grudge. I just reflect. I can't judge. Enchanted to answer only to the queen. Still, there.
Just some of the life of a crook. There isn't one room upon the work of a Captain Hook. The world's most famous crook.
critique. You'll love me at once. Curse that brought Sleeping Beauty, the kiss of true love. I suppose you could say that the happily ever after of Princess Aurora is my doing.
Floating face. Why don't I get VIP access, huh? Hello! She isn't the only one who's feeling a little heated by being misunderstood, okay? Hey, who's Hallmark does it, yeah?
2 at a time?
I'm glad you let me in. Or else, would
All right, that show was very, very cute. First of all, it's about the magic mirror being overwhelmed. He has been listening to the villains complain for so long, and he's supposed to only listen to the queen, but all the villains are complaining to him that they're all misunderstood, and they're putting the term fairest of all, like they're twisting that on its head. So all the villains are like, no, we're not that bad, we're just misunderstood. And they've all been complaining to the mirror, and he's over it. So this show is about 3 of the villains are able to break through talking to the mirror, Cruella, Captain Hook, and Maleficent, and they are going to perform for you, and you have to decide who's the most misunderstood. And it does change each time, based on audience vote and the applausometer, basically, it does change. Now, a couple things I loved about the show. One, there's a new song at the beginning where all the villains are popping in and out of all the different screens. It's really, really fun. It's great to see a bunch of rare villains like Edgar from the Aristocats and Yzma from Emperor's New Groove, and characters you don't see that much, Madame Mim from Sword in the Stone. Then, again, a couple of the villains break through and they perform live in front of you. And then Hades and Jafar come, and they're yelling, but they're only on a screen for some reason. And then you vote, and whoever wins gets to sing a number at the end. Things I liked about the show. Cruella's number was great. I enjoyed Captain Hook's number. And for the record, I do think Captain Hook is probably one of the most misunderstood villains, because, like, if someone cut my hand off and fed it to a crocodile, I would also pursue them relentlessly. So, you know. I liked the use of the different screens at times, because how else are you going to show that many villains? And I liked when they did things like make every screen have a villain in it laughing, which is iconic and spooky and scary. I didn't love all of the use of screens, and I wish there were more real villains. Like, I wish that when Hades and Jafar came out that they were really there instead of just being on the screen. And I also wish that there were more villain songs, because, like, they chose Maleficent, and I get it, she's an iconic baddie, but she doesn't have a song. So I wish they had maybe shortened the 3 villains that are singing, shortened their numbers down, and then put in, like, Dr. Facilier, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Ursula, because they've got banger songs that everybody likes. But overall, it's a good time. It's sitting down in air conditioning. Everyone seemed to be having a good time in there. Now, I did talk to some people in the line that said that they had tried to come before and that it had filled up. So I do recommend getting there like 20 minutes before showtime, especially as it's brand new and people are excited about it. I'm going to give this one a 7.3 Pain and Panics. Because, by the way, they were the detail on the mirror in there. And there was also cool wallpaper in there. So there's some fun details, and the set is very, very cool. I just wish, again, there was a little more practical things happening and a little less screen. But overall, very fun. You could say wickedly fun. Anyone else remember when there were, like, busts right here of different famous people, including, like, Betty White and Walt Disney? Speaking of things you remember, does anyone else remember when the, before Beauty and the Beast, the janitors would sing? It was great. Anyway, now we're headed to Vacation Fun, which is a short right here in the Mickey Shorts Theater. It's an original short made just for the park, and that's what it's a cartoon. There's not really much more to describe about it than that. This runs pretty much continuously all day, and I'm seeing if I can sneak it in before our next Lightning Lane. The next show starts in right now. Hopefully I can get in. Hopefully, here we go. There's all the gang. Oh yes, I'm getting in. This is, wow. What a time. What a time. Look how cute the seats are in here, too. That show is fine. It is, without spoiling too much, it's about Mickey and Minnie packing for vacation, and then they reminisce on other vacations they've taken, including places that are in the Mickey shorts, like the new Mickey Mouse cartoons. You reference places like Potato Land, And then as you exit, there are photo ops with some of those places. I personally do not care for this style of animation. I think it looks like Ren and Stimpy, and I think more than that, it makes Mickey mean, and Mickey is not a mean character. He is a loving and wonderful character, and he's a nice guy, and Mickey is like everything that should be right and good in the world, and in this style of cartoon, he's kind of mean to Pluto. He's not very kind to Minnie, and I just don't personally care for it. If you love I know people love these cartoons, people were laughing in there. I love that for you. It's just not for me. But even then, even still, even considering that, trying to take my own bias out of it, it gets a 3 pantsless Goofies. Because one, Goofy, what happened, my dude? This is not the brave single father that put his son through college that I know. Do you need help? Are you okay? Mickey should be reaching out, you know? But beyond that, it's just a cartoon. It is a nice, like, 10 minutes in air conditioning. There's never a line, so it's a good thing to do in that sense, but there are better filler attractions in this park, better filler shows, so it's not a must-do for most people. But once again, we go from something new to a classic. We're headed right over here to the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. This is one of the oldest shows in the park, and it still maintains its popularity today. In fact, it's one of the shows that if you are purchasing Lightning Lane and you've booked all the rides, this is a good show to use it on because they don't do very many of them a day, and it holds up. It's popular, it fills up. The Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular is one of the last remaining things from the original theming of this park, which was showing you how the movies work and putting you behind the scenes at the movies. So you are going to see how they do some of the iconic stunts from the Indiana Jones movies live right in front of your eyeballs. Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, banger. I love it so much. But unfortunately, due to lighting in the area, they couldn't do all of the stunts because some of them are outside. So safety, obviously. So I do count it as completing it in the challenge because I saw what I was able to see, but I also do feel it is now my duty to reenact the rest of the show so that when I give my rating and when I'm talking about if you should see the show or not, you know what the full experience is like, not just the first third of the show. All right, so picture this. Indiana Jones has just survived the giant boulder rolling down the hill, and we learn that it's a stunt double doing it, not actually Harrison Ford, because if Harrison Ford gets hurt, that has to shut down the whole production. All the while, the director of the production here is explaining to us how movie sets work, and they're moving out that big temple scene and revealing this whole area behind us. Market scene, run through the curtains, a truck pulls up, and way more people than you could think could fit in a truck. Whip, whoosh, whoosh, bang, bang. This is running up here. He kicks the one guy down. Steve, he's a big guy, and he's gonna be the pilot now. Watch out, Indiana Jones. Can't get Marion out of the airplane. What are we gonna do? Is bad. Run, 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 jump over the fire. Whole set explodes behind us. That's a wrap, everybody. Thank you for coming to our show, Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I'm sure that felt like really seeing it. So now what do we rate Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular? I'm giving it an 8.8 Indiana Jones classic hats because this show's awesome. And I think this is truly one of the things in Walt Disney World that can appeal to the entire family. Kids enjoy it, parents enjoy it, grandparents enjoy it. It is a multi-generational experience because even if you haven't seen the Indiana Jones movies, it's really cool to see them do these stunts in action. There's fire, there's the great John Williams music, there are cool effects, and it's all practical in front of you, which is fun and not like something you're going to see a lot of other places. So I think this one rates very, very high. It's a good one to prioritize. Again, a good one to use Lightning Lane on if you've already booked all of your e-ticket attractions. Otherwise, I would say show up 20-30 minutes before the show to make sure you get a seat because as you saw, that theater fills and there's not a ton of shows throughout the day. But similar to Beauty and the Beast, this show has been around for 35 years, even longer, and it honestly still holds up. It's a great show, so I recommend seeing it. Next up, we're actually going to take a feeding break because I am headed to 50's Primetime Cafe for lunch, and not just for any lunch reservation. I'm doing the Fantasmic dining package. I need to see Fantasmic as part of this adventure today, and this gets me reserved seating, and a lot of you have asked me if this package is worth the money, so let's check it out. Basically, the Fantasmic dining package, you book it as a separate thing other than booking the restaurants themselves, and it's a pre-fixed price. 50's Primetime Cafe is $60, but the price does vary based on which restaurant you're going to. Hollywood and Vine, Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater, and the Hollywood Brown Derby are also available. For that $60 per person, you get an entree, a dessert, and a drink, and it can be alcoholic, as well as a voucher for reserved seating for one of the showings of Fantasmic. So we'll see how much money I can spend to see how close to equal I can get on the $60. But 50's Primetime Cafe is a super fun dining experience restaurant. It's an opening day restaurant here in Hollywood Studios, and it takes you back to the 50s sitcom. Think the Leave It to Be era. So the whole kitchen is full of antiques, and it looks like you stepped into your grandmother's house. And all the cast members there, they're your cousins, so they're gonna shame you if you don't finish your plate. They may even make you do an airplane with a fork, and if you do finish your plate, you get to be a member of the Clean Plate Club. Just want to give kudos to Disney right now. I'm waiting for my name to be called at 50's, and I checked my app and I noticed that they gave me an experience redemption because even though I tapped in and technically used it at Indiana Jones, the full show was canceled, so now I could use it to go see one of these other shows. Okay, I love the vibe in here. I love the old TVs that are around. They'll play like clips from classic shows like the Dick Van Dyke Show or Leave It to Beaver. They'll also play like the opening of Disneyland because that was in 1955. And it's just fun to look around and see all the different antiques, and maybe you'll recognize something from your house or a house of someone you know. Now, taking a look at the menu, again, they're known for their milkshakes, famously the PB&J milkshake. They've got a couple really good appetizers, although I'm pretty furious they took off the fried Boursin cheese. However, my wonderful server said that the cornbread skillet is fantastic. Then for entrees, like I was saying, they're known for comfort food. So the fried chicken, the pot roast, the chicken pot pie, the blue plate special. And then you can also do, if you're not sure what you want, you can do a sampling of mom's favorites, which gets you the fried chicken, the pot roast, and the meatloaf. And then on the back, we've got all of our bevies. They've got a variety of signature cocktails, including a toasted marshmallow old fashioned, which Alan and I have picked up at Tune In Lounge, which is the walk-up bar connected here. They've also got some beers and wines, as well as some non-alcoholic specialty drinks, like flavored sodas, like you can get like real vanilla Coke and things like that. My food has arrived and my drink, so I asked my wonderful cousin Justice if I could have just any alcoholic drink, and he said yes. So I asked for a vodka martini with a twist, one of my favorite classic cocktails. Feels right for the 50s, and the specialty cocktails just looked a little too sweet for my taste. And then I also went with his recommendation of the chicken pot pie. I've had this before and it's amazing, but it's been a minute. This is Grandpa Gene's chicken pot pie. It's a traditional pastry crust filled with chicken, potatoes, carrots, celery, onions, corn, and peas. And both of these look fantastic. Can't wait to dig in. All right, first of all, clink. That's a good martini. Normally I get martinis in this park over at the Brown Derby Lounge, but the Tune In Lounge is a great place to get a cocktail, and that's the bartenders for this whole restaurant. They're wonderful bartenders over there. All right, now let's get into this. Holds up, comfort food at its finest. The chicken is cooked well and is really moist and delicious. Lots of the veg in here. Puff pastry just falls apart. Is this the most exciting meal you're ever gonna have? No. This is hearty, it's comfort food. If I wasn't on the dining plan or the Fantasmic package, their entrees are big here, so you could definitely share them. But, you know, it's not the most exciting thing you're gonna eat in a theme park, but it is gonna be done well, in my experience. All right, we have finished eating at 50's Prime Time. Pro tip, you can get a milkshake as your dessert and you can get it to go. This is the PB&J milkshake. It's delicious. It mostly tastes like peanut butter, which I'm a big fan of. Not really any jelly. A little fruitiness sometimes, but mostly tastes like a peanut butter milkshake. It's fantastic. But is that dining package worth it? Let's do the math. Okay, as a reminder, it was $60 for the adult Fantasmic plan, not counting tax or tip, but let's get the calculator out. My entree was $25, my drink was $15.50, and my dessert was $9.25, which is $49.75, which means theoretically I paid $10.25 for my Fantasmic seating, which I actually think is not that bad. $10 to get reserve viewing at Fantasmic is pretty good. But I also did the math, and if you get the most expensive of everything, if you get the most expensive entrees, which are like the sampler platter and a couple other ones, a cocktail that's valued at $17.50, which are some of the specialty cocktails, and the most expensive dessert, which is the peanut butter cake a la mode, which is actually very delicious. It's actually $60 on the dot, so you would completely break even. Honestly, it depends on what you're gonna eat, obviously, and obviously it adds up the more people you're doing, but one, if you're on the dining plan, you can do this on the dining plan, which makes it a great value. And two, I think if you're already planning on eating at one of these restaurants, if you can do the math kind of based on what you're gonna get and see how much a Fantasmic seat is, I don't think it's a bad deal, actually. I don't think you need it, especially when there's two Fantasmic shows. Usually you can go to the second one and get a seat without much effort. But you know, it's a nice to have, and I think, again, if you are already gonna eat at 50's and you are already gonna get a cocktail and you are already gonna get a dessert, you're not paying that much extra for the Fantasmic seat. So, just something. Now you've seen it, and you can decide if it's worth it for your family. Next up, we're headed into the Hyperion Theater for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration. This is about a 30-minute show that, as the name might suggest, celebrates the music from Frozen and encourages you to sing along. I'm using a lightning lane, but you really don't need one here. It doesn't usually fill up. I actually think this is an underrated gem of this park. And basically, you're gonna see Anna looking for Elsa at the beginning, but then the narrators and the storytellers of Arendelle are gonna tell the story of Frozen and encourage you to sing along. But honestly, y'all, the show is so funny. It makes me laugh out loud every single time because you never know what the narrators are gonna say.
Do you wanna build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door. It's like you've gone away. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. It doesn't have to be a snowman.
Hey, where'd the boat go? I'll tell you when you're older. Older?
Tick-tock.
But with you, I find my place. I see you set for love's an open door.
Oh, that's true. Look at their faces. Terrified. Horrified. Just saw Moana 2. But nobody...
Let it go, and I'll rise like a breeze on dawn.
Oh, you work with ice.
I do.
How does it not melt because you're so hot? I don't care, you were thinking. I'm so glad you're here. The royal historians of Arendelle were just telling our story.
For the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration, check. I love that show, y'all. I am struggling to rate it because I rate it really high on my personal enjoyment scale because like it's different every time. The narrators make me laugh out loud every time because they make unhinged jokes, often ones kids aren't gonna get, and they can change what they say, so you never know what you're gonna hear. The music's fun, it's the Frozen music obviously, and it's just, you don't have to get in line super early, you can get in line like 10 minutes before the show. It's just a good, like it's like the ultimate filler show. It's inside, you sit, like it's got a lot going for it. Production-wise, though, it's the same as the Villain show because it's mostly screens. It's not a super cool set. Truly, the joy of this show, if you're a kid, comes from seeing the characters. If you're me, it comes from the narrators. I'm gonna rate it the same as the Villain show, which I put at a 7.3, I believe. So I'm gonna give this 7.3 baby Svens because, again, I think it's a great show. I think it's funny. I think it's entertaining. Is it the most amazing thing you're gonna see while you're at Hollywood Studios? No. Does it have the production value of something like Beauty and the Beast or Indiana Jones? No. But I don't think your day's gonna be worse if you see it. In fact, I think it's only gonna improve your day because of the entire experience around it. And yeah, I think it's a great show, honestly. Underrated. All right, man fam. Only 2 shows left, and you know one of them's Fantasmic, which means the time has come. The time has come to say goodbye. To whomst are we saying goodbye to? You probably already know. Muppet Vision 3D. And all of Muppet Courtyard, because this part of the park is closing forever on June 7th, to one day be reopened as a Monsters, Inc. land, which, don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see. Door roller coaster sounds awesome. Like to eat at Harryhausen's. But will I miss Muppet Vision and Muppet Courtyard? You bet your rat I will. I really love Muppet Vision. I have a lot of fond memories of seeing Muppet Vision. It's been here since I've been coming to the park. And it's the last thing Jim Henson himself ever personally worked on. So it's sad to me that it's not going to be here anymore. But mostly because I think the world needs more of the Muppets. Because if we had more of the Muppets, I genuinely think the world would be a better place. Also, if Kermit was president, that would be pretty good. But, you know, Walt said keep moving forward, and my sorrow for losing the Muppets really does not impact my excitement for Monstropolis. That said, we're gonna go see Muppet Vision 3D. This will be my last time ever seeing it, bringing you with me, and I'm gonna point out some Easter eggs in the area while we're here, because if I don't know it now, I literally never will. For starters, that sign above Pizza Rizzo, which is also closing. Honestly, can't say I'm upset about losing Puffy Pizza, but I do appreciate the rat theming, and I love the fact that this neon sign at night, some of the letters fade out, and it changes from the city's top-rated pizza to It's Rat Pizza. Over here on the building itself, a lot of people don't notice Gonzo hanging off the clock hands up at the top. And as we enter in, there is undeniably one of the best theme park Easter eggs of all time. Oh, and Kermit singing. I'm gonna cry. Right here at security. Keys under the mat. Back in 5 minutes. Go ahead. Check. Well, you can't if you're watching this because this show's about to close, but yeah. I thought it was gone, but it's there. It's there forever. I hope they move that somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe they'll put it at Rock and Roller Coaster where the Muppets are taking over. Unsurprisingly, everything you can read is funny. Like the directory here at Muppet Vision, Swedish Chef, Tippy Top Cookie Guy. Like Statler and Waldorf, the curmudgeons in chief. They're in the mezzanine because they literally are. Miss Piggy, diva, very sweet. Department of Comedic Timing and Delivery, take Fozzie Bear, please. The doors are equally as funny, like the Department of Artificial Reality. This is not a door. I love the, you must be shorter than this to enter. Another hilarious Easter egg is that right here there's a net full of Jell-O, which is a nod to Annette Funicello, one of the original Mickey Mouse Club members. And then if you look around the pre-show area here, you've got funny props like Miss Piggy's satin gowns, more satin evening gowns, the rest of her satin evening gowns. You got real props from the most recent Muppet movies. They have these hilarious soldiers up here that we're going to see in the glorious 3-hour finale by Sam Eagle. And of course, the pre-show itself is one of the funniest pre-shows of all time. And last one, if you turn around as you are headed into the theater, you will see this picture of Jim Henson as a Muppet. This is the only instance of him as a Muppet in history. I hope they put it somewhere special after this. I'm sure they will. But that's a good one to end on. So thanks, Jim.
A tremendous tap dancing talent with the added cultural component of... On my head. Hit it, Rusty. Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an unexpected surprise. I have the great honor of introducing the one, the only Mr. Mickey Mouse.
Hello, hi there. Welcome to my block. How you doing? Hello.
You are not Mickey Mouse, you are a rat.
Rat snack. Besides, they're tourists. What do they know?
Get out of here!
Okay,
Now, where was I? Yes, safety instructions. First, when entering the theater, please move as far to the end of the row as possible. Stopping in the middle is distinctly unpatriotic.
So, the orchestra of penguins. Yeah, probably took the job for the halibut.
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here, and welcome to Muppet Vision 3D. Kermit, what's that for?
Yes! I get it!
Hey, sweetie, that's a great bet.
Hey, Fozzie, Kermit!
What are you doing? Get back to your place.
Well, that was my last time seeing Muppet Vision. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't get a little teary. I didn't film it. The footage you saw I filmed, that's a different time filming it. I normally, when I watch it, I put my 3D glasses over my phone so that I can film it for the videos. But this time I just sat and watched it and enjoyed it and laughed hysterically because the Muppets are hilarious and a multi-generational treasure, and I love them so much. And I am curious to see what Rock and Roller Coaster is like with them in charge. I'm glad that we will still have some Muppets, and I would like more Muppets in the world. But hopefully all of you that are Muppet fans got to say goodbye as well, or you can say goodbye vicariously. You know what? As far as rating the Muppets go, 1,000 out of 10. What are you gonna do? They're gone, so I can give it whatever rating I want. But I would have, if it was not closing, I would still rate it very high because it's the perfect filler attraction and the Muppets are awesome. But as it stands now, I'm giving it a 1,000 out of 10. A 1,000 Waka Wakas. Rest in peace, Muppet Vision 3D. I will miss you forever. I will miss your hilarious lines like, we invited world-renowned scientists, none of them showed up, or anything that Statler and Waldorf say, who, by the way, are very underrated animatronics. I don't think we as a community talked enough about how great those animatronics are. But yeah, that's it for Muppet Vision and Pizza Rizzo and Mama Melrose, which I'm not that upset about, but I will miss Muppet Vision for sure. All right, and now at long last, it is time to head to our final show of the day, Fantasmic, the Nighttime Spectacular. Fantasmic is my favorite nighttime spectacular at Walt Disney World, so I'm thrilled to be seeing it right now. And it takes place in the Hollywood Hills Amphitheater at the end of Sunset Boulevard, right before Tower of Terror. Now, sometimes Fantasmic has one showing, sometimes it has two, and as I've said multiple times throughout this video, if it has two showings, go to the second one, because it'll be much less crowded. You can usually show up if there's a second show, like 20 to 30 minutes before it starts and get a good seat. Versus the first show, I would recommend being there like 45 minutes to an hour to get a good seat. But if you recall, we have a voucher from my dining package today, so I'll be in the reserved seating area. Now, the reserved seating area is still first come, first serve, so my server recommended still getting there at least 30 minutes early, which is what I'm doing. But it's nice to know I have a spot, I don't have to worry about it, because Fantasmic, especially when there's only one show, it does fill up. That said, like I said earlier, If you weren't already gonna eat at the sit-down restaurants, I don't think the package is worth it or necessary. You can get a spot pretty easily. It just requires a little more time and patient pants. Fantasmic is about a 25-minute show, and it combines all different kinds of mediums, fire effects, fireworks, water projections, live performers, and more, and tells the story of Mickey's imagination and how he has to face both good and evil, and will the nightmares win out, or will good triumph in the end? There's only one way to find out.
I think you're so powerful. Well, this is my dream. Some imagination, huh?
Fantasmic, done. Check our final theater show of the day. What to rate Fantasmic? Well, I gave the Muppets 1,000, so I guess this gets 999. No, it also gets 1,000 or a 10. It gets 10. Some imagination, huh? Out of 10. It's amazing. It's a wonderful show. Again, my favorite nighttime spectacular. It's just heartwarming. I love all the different characters. I love all the different music. It's wonderful. A must-see if you're here, in my opinion, and a perfect way to end the evening and all of this wonderful entertainment. Now, here's my final ranking of all the shows. But you know what? Some shows appeal to some people more than others. Obviously, the hard one on this list is the Disney Junior Dance Party, because like that either is a 10 if you've got little kids who like Disney Junior, or a 0 if you don't. There's no in between. But I think it's pretty obvious. Fantasmic at the top. I'm kind of memeing Muppets being at the top, but also not really. But it's honestly irrelevant where Muppets sits on this list now. Then you've got classic bangers like Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular and Beauty and the Beast Live on Stage. Little bit of a surprise with Frozen right there, tied with the new show Villains Unfairly Ever After. And then our next new show, Little Mermaid Musical Adventure. Then we go into our movies with the Walt Disney and the Vacation Shorts. Definitely let me know your favorite Disney's Hollywood Studios show down in the comment. And also, I hope you had fun following along today. Live entertainment is so important to the Walt Disney World experience, especially at this park. So I had a really great time seeing all of these wonderful shows. Also, shout out to the Wonderful World of Animation, which is the projection show on the Chinese theater. It's not a theater show, so I didn't count it today because it's not like in a theater, but it is really good, and if you get the chance to see it, it's a fun like 10-minute show, and it features animation clips from every Disney animated film. But that is a final wrap on today. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, come hang out with the Mam Fam in Discord. If you haven't already, check out our Patreon for behind the scenes content and more. And until next time, friends, I'm Molly, and it has been truly so magical. Good night. Also, I was so excited this morning about the 2 new shows, I forgot that I would see Ursula thrice today. That's too many times.